Peace and blessings, Israel. First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahushai, for allowing this word to come out. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters is edified by this word. And the name of the lesson is called The Tragic Death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short. All right. Let me say it again, man. The name of the lesson is called The Tragic Death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short. Before we get into this word, we must acknowledge the fact that this was a tragedy. From a worldly perspective, in the natural, I must admit, this was devastating news for me when I found this out yesterday. My daughter called me and as I was working, and she said, "Tell me it's not so that Kobe is dead." And I'm like, of course, without even checking, I knew that was false. And I told her I would give her a call right back. I was going to check it. And sure enough, TMZ and other outlets was reporting this. This is exactly when it happened. Being a spiritual man, just from a natural perspective, it was devastating news, man. I'm a former basketball player. I had dreams of going to play professional basketball, but at 19 years old, I had my first child, my daughter, and I decided to leave school and come home and work a job. But I had hoop dreams, and I was a pretty damn good basketball player, and besides Michael Jordan, this was my second favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant, So in the fraternity of basketball players, this was definitely devastating news, man. But the key word I keep telling you guys, in the natural version of me, this was devastating news. It was heartbreaking, especially for him and his daughter, man. But from a spiritual sense, this was just a reminder that life is really short. And while we still have life, we should be trying to do everything we can to please the Lord and do whatever it is we need to do to make it right in the eyes of the Lord. In this word, we're going to talk about how life is really short. You're here today, and with the, snap of a finger, you're gone the next minute, man. Condolences goes out to the Bryant family, his wife, and his family. Regardless of what you think of Kobe Bryant as a person, he still has a family. He's a husband, he's a son, he's a brother, and he's a friend to millions and millions of people. And I'm not here to judge Kobe Bryant. So in this word, I just wanted to do a video and just show you the tragic death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short, man. And wow, it's really, really short. And say what you want to say about Kobe Bryant, but as a basketball player, man, other than Michael Jordan, man, he was worth. Hey, you would pay a top dollar to see this guy play, man. And I didn't know Kobe Bryant as the person. I only knew him from what I seen as a basketball player. And that's all I'm going to speak on, because I can relate to the basketball player because I was one. And as a basketball player outside of Michael Jordan, not too many people could touch this guy, man. But anyway, I just want to come out with a few scriptures, man, and we're going to close this thing out, man. What we're going to deal with is when it comes to our future, when it comes to what we call tomorrow, okay? What a lot of people need to understand is it's unknown. Now, I'm going to read you Ecclesiastes 6, chapter 6, verses 10 through 12. I'm not going to read the King James Version, but those that have Bibles, you can go to the King James Version and read verses 10 through 12. But I'm going to choose to go the New Living Translation route because it really speaks word for word, dealing with death, dealing with sudden death, dealing with being here today and gone tomorrow, man. In Ecclesiastes 6, verse 10 through 12, it says, everything has already been decided. It was known long ago what each person would be. So there is no use arguing with God about your destination. Verse 11, the more words you speak, the less they mean. So what good are they? Is the question. And in verse 12, it says, in the few days of our meaningless lives, who knows how our days can be spent? Our lives are like a shadow. Who can tell what will happen on this earth after we are gone? You see that? That's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded. It says everything has already been decided, man. And it has. Scripture says it was known long ago what each person would be. So it was established a long time ago what person Kobe Bryant was going to be. He was going to be a phenomenal basketball player, a husband, a father, a businessman, a whole lot of things, man. It says, so there's no use arguing with God about your destination. So Kobe's destination was already predetermined, man, by the Lord. It says in verse 12, I really want to stick with this. It says, in the few days of our meaningless lives. You see that? Our lives are meaningless, man. It says, who knows how our days can best be spent? And this man was, starting his day with taking his child to her basketball game. And little did he know, or did anybody else know, what was to come shortly after that, man. It says, our lives are like a shadow. Who can tell what will happen on earth after we are gone? Kobe Bryant is no longer here with us today. Could you imagine Saturday night when he went to bed and kissed his kids and kissed his wife, and the Lord allowed him to wake up Sunday morning with his family, with his daughter, Gigi, and they go about their business like any other day, not knowing that this day wasn't going to go like normal days would go. Wow. Whew. What's the name of the lesson, man? The tragic death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short, man. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, we're going to stay in the New Living Translation. Like I said, feel free to go to the King James Version, but I really want to bring out the New Living Translation because it speaks so potent to what it is we're dealing with in regards to death, man. In Ecclesiastes 9, verses 1 through 6, it says, this too I carefully explored. Even though the actions of godly and wise people are in God's hands, no one knows whether God will show them favor. You see that? The same destiny ultimately awaits everyone, whether righteous or wicked, good or bad, ceremonially clean or unclean, religious or irreligious. Good people receive the same treatment as sinners, and people who make promises to God are treated like people who don't. It seems so wrong that everyone under the sun suffers the same fate. Already twisted by evil, people choose their own mad course, for they have no hope. There is nothing ahead but death anyway. There is hope only for the living. And they say it's better to be a live dog than a dead lion. The living at least know they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no further reward, nor are they remembered. Whatever they did in their lifetime, loving, hating, envying, is all long gone. They no longer play a part in anything here on earth, man. You see that? Yeah, man. Yeah. Death is coming, man. It's coming. And, it says the same destiny ultimately awaits everyone, whether you righteous or wicked, good or bad, ceremonially clean or unclean, religious or non-religious, man. We all have to go, man, someday. And at 41 years old, man, Kobe Bryant, wow, life is really short, man. It's really short. And those that are that's watching this video, if you have loved ones that you're not talking to, that you are at odds with, man, life is short, man. Call that brother or sister, man. Work that out. If you at odds with your parents, man, make a phone call, make a visit to your parents, man, and nip that in the bud, man. If you and your wife is at odds, nip that in the bud. You and your family, just nip it in the bud, man. Life is short. And listen, man, the tragic death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short, man. And we're going to close this word out in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. And we're going to come out with verses 14 through 17, man. And we're going to close it out, man. In verse 13, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, the New Living Translation. It says, accept the way God does things, for who can straighten what he has made crooked? Verse 14, enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize that both come from God, who we know as Yahweh. Remember that nothing is certain in this life, man. Verse 15, I have seen everything in this meaningless life, including the death of good young people and the long life of wicked people. So don't be too good or too wise. Why destroy yourself? On the other hand, don't be too wicked either. Don't be a fool. Why die before your time? Verse 18, pay attention to these instructions, for anyone who fears God will avoid both extremes. So as a God-fearing person, man, if you pay attention to the limits of human wisdom and you fear the Lord, man, you'll be able to avoid some of the pitfalls that come in this life. Now, Kobe Bryant, he didn't have to die yesterday, but it was the day already set for him. But sometimes in life, we can shorten our death. We can rush our death before it has to happen. According to news outlets and an investigation right now, this appeared to be an error of the pilot and not the helicopter itself malfunctioning. It appears to be that the pilot had to get permission, special permission to fly in the fog. And allegedly, he clipped the side of a mountain or some sort due to not being able to see. And that's what, caused the helicopter to crash. Again, allegedly, I don't know that to be true, but the whole thing was the fact that he had to get permission, special permission. The pilot had to get, special permission to fly in the fog should have let you know that was a problem. And maybe they should have used wisdom and say, you know what? To be safe, man, it's better to be safe than sorry. So to be safe, let's take a different route. And, things maybe could be different. But see, at the end of the day, woulda, coulda, shoulda don't matter because life is uncertain. So it don't matter if Kobe could have took back, if Kobe could have his Sunday morning back and he did things different, whatever means of travel he did, it still could have went tragic. Because when it's our time, man. And the Lord know when that time is. So, but if you can do things to avoid rushing your death, I think we should do that. Again, what's the name of the lesson, man? The tragic death of Kobe Bryant is a reminder that life is really short, man. And it really is. 41 years old, man. That's a lot of years of life this man had left, man, to get better, to right his wrongs. Hey, no one's perfect, man. He had his issues. We all know about this situation in Denver, Colorado, with the girl alleged, that she reported that he raped her or took advantage of her, however you want to slice it. And that was a blemish that was on Kobe's record, being a married man. That blemish, people, talking about basketball, and that's all I really want to focus on is Kobe as the basketball player. But at the same time, we must remember, Kobe had his faults like everybody else, and certain decisions we make in life comes back to haunt us sometime. And that's why I say, if the Lord allow you live long enough to right the wrongs that you've done and reconcile and get in his good graces, man, I think we should take a step forward and try to do that. Again, I'm not here to judge Kobe. I'm just saying, man, no one's perfect. And of course, Kobe wasn't perfect. He had his issues like everybody else that live or walk on this earth have their issues. And what am I saying? When we make mistakes in our lives, the first thing we need to do, man, is reconcile with the Lord and try to make things right. Regardless of whoever we wronged, make it right, man. I hope you sincere, brothers and sisters was edified by this word. We give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushai, for allowing this word to come out. And let me tell you, man, in a million years, I never would have thought I would be doing a biblical lesson speaking on the death, a tragic death of Kobe Bryant, man. Never, never, never would imagine that one. That just show you life is really short, man. And again, I hope you sincere brothers and sisters, man, look at the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, the sudden tragic death of Kobe Bryant, and really take advantage of this life while you have it. It's short, man. So while you still here, take full advantage of it, man, and try to really do something productive, man. in the eyes of the Lord, man. Shalom.